Hey everybody, it's me Tom Angleberger with Book It Live. We come to you every week on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's also 12 Central, 11 Mountain, and 10 Pacific. So what do we do on Book It Live? Well, Book It is a program that Pizza Hut has to encourage kids to read books. And I like to read books too. And I like to write books and draw books and all that stuff. So we're just going to talk about books and how great books are. And we're going to do some drawing. And we're going to make stuff. In fact, let me show you all of our segments. We're going to start with Show It. First thing is we're going to do a little show and tell. And Cece is going to join us this week for show and tell. And then we're going to draw it. I'll show you how to draw something this week. And then we're going to read it. I'll tell you about one of my favorite books and give you a way that you can read it even if you're stuck at home. And then we're going to make it. I'll show you how to make something fun. All right. The last thing we're going to do is ask it. You guys are going to do write in with any questions you've got for me, and I will try to answer them. But right now, let's get back to the beginning with Show It. Remember last week I showed you how to make something? Well, Cece actually made it, and now she's here to do a little show and tell with it. So I'm going to step away, and Cece is going to jump right into the seat and show you what she made.
Hey everybody! I'm back. You saw me last week, and I think we drew an upside down U and turned it into a cat, I think. But in case you have no idea who I am, I'm Tom's wife, but I am also a writer and illustrator, and probably my most well-known book is El Defo. For those of you who know this book and have read it and are interested, I have been posting videos on YouTube every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and I can't get all fancy like Tom did and give you all the other time zones, but I do know 10 a.m. Mondays on on YouTube. And I've done chapters 1 through 5. It's like deep dive into the world of El Defo. But yes, last week Tom showed you how to make origami finger puppet. And I made my own version of El Defo, and so that's what I made. And I thought it was lots of fun, and I especially enjoyed trying to figure out how to make the ears work. So this is what I made, and I hope that I will get to see you here next week for Tom's Book It presentation. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
All right, thanks, Cece. Cece did a good job, didn't she? She's actually pretty good at that origami stuff. She just doesn't know it. Hey, you know, you may have noticed her puppet looked a little different than the ones that you guys made. She did a couple extra steps, just like I did with these Animal Crossing puppets. So I've got a YouTube video on how to do this. If you enjoyed last week's finger puppet, but you wanted to take it a little farther, you can check out my video on these Animal Crossing puppets. It's the same technique that Cece used to make that El Defo. All right, so that was our show and tell portion. Everybody got to show and tell something. And if you make something and you want to show and tell me about it, and maybe I'll even be able to feature it on a show in the future, you're going to send it in by giving me a hashtag. Let's see, I've got all my hashtags handy here. It's going to be Book It Live. You're going to put it up on Instagram with hashtag BookItLive, and that way I'll be able to see it. That's how you can show and tell me stuff. All right, so that was our Show It portion of the show. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I see you guys waving at me. It makes me so happy. Thank you very much, guys. It's great to see you guys here. I really appreciate it. By the way, if you just tuned in, before I go to my next section, this is Book It Live from the great folks at the Pizza Hut Book It program and me, Tom Angleberger. We're on every Wednesday at this time. And if you miss it, well, you're not missing it right now, but if you did miss it a different week, you can look at it on YouTube. All right, that's enough of that. I'm getting confused. I was going to show you how to draw something. This is the Draw It section. Last week, Cece showed you how to draw something. She's a much better artist than I am. But I get by. And I'm actually been done a graphic novel that'll be coming out soon. I illustrated a graphic novel, but I'm really not all that good at drawing. I wanted to show you guys the simplest thing you could possibly draw. Even I can't mess this one up. It's so simple. It's the simplest thing that can be drawn in the universe, and I'm not talking about a stick figure. I hate stick figures, and they're even harder than this anyway. Plus, they're dumb. This is going to be awesome. Are you ready? Grab your pen. Remember, Cece showed you how to make a cat with a bunch of U's? I'm going to show you how to make a duck with just 3 U's. Are you ready? There's 1 U. Okay? There's another U. And there's another U. And now there's a dot for the eye. And then there's 2 dots on the nose. That's the duck. It's done. 3 U's, 3 dots. You can do that, right? But wait, some smart aleck out there might be saying, where's the rest of the duck? I don't know and I don't care. Watch this. Now you don't need to draw the rest of the duck, do you? It's in a comic book panel. Now he can say quack with a speech balloon. Everybody in the world is going to know that's a duck. And it only took you 3 U's and 3 dots to draw. Now what if you wanted to have another duck in your comic book? Maybe this guy says quack. Maybe there's another duck. Well, draw that duck. Make it a little extra wide or something. Or maybe make its bill a little extra small. Doesn't matter to me. Do it however you want to. There we go. There's duck number 2. Hey, you want another duck? Let's scoot this over a little bit. Here's another way to draw another duck. Okay, looks like the same duck, doesn't it? But wait, look. 1 more U, and this duck's wearing a t-shirt. Now you can color that t-shirt in. Everybody will know which duck you're talking about. Yep, that's the kind of high-quality stuff you can expect from me, famous comic book illustrator Tom Angleberger. But is that not better than a stick figure? Yes, it's a lot better than a stick figure, and it's a lot easier to draw. So, that was today's version of Draw It. If you guys draw a good duck, send it to me with our hashtag BookItLive. Now, don't forget how to draw that duck, because I'm going to be talking more about that in just a couple minutes. But the next thing up, I want to do a little book talk with you guys. Let's talk about Read It. Now, if you have a favorite book you'd like to tell me about, you can actually type it in down there at the bottom right now, and that's a great way to talk about books. So I'll keep my eyes peeled, see if I see any good books popping up down there. Meanwhile, I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite books. Let's see here. All right. Okay, things are a little messy here. Okay, here it is. Now, this is one of my earliest book memories. This is The Land of Oz, and I remember my mother reading me this story when I was very, very little. I don't even remember having read The Wizard of Oz at that point. I remember, though, this book, The Land of Oz, which is the sequel to The Wizard of Oz. And sequel's sort of a strange word. There were actually 14 of these Oz books, and this is number 2. What a wild story this is. In this book, Dorothy is back in Kansas. This is about what goes on in Oz when Dorothy's not around. And it's pretty crazy. Look at some of the crazy characters we're going to run into here. Let's see, who do we have here? We've got Tip, Pumpkinhead, oh boy, Mombi, the very scary witch. We got the Scarecrow, hey, he's back. We've got the Wonder Bug, no, the Woggle Bug, and the Gump, and of course the Tin Woodsman. This book, this is full of some weird stuff. They don't even have my favorite character here, the Sawhorse. This is some crazy stuff. If you've never read The Wizard of Oz, you should probably start with The Wizard of Oz. But even if you just vaguely know what The Wizard of Oz is about, maybe you saw the movie, maybe you read it a long time ago, you need to read The Land of Oz. But you may be saying, wait, Tom, how can I read that book? I'm stuck at home and can't go to the library or my local independent bookstore. Well, of course, you could possibly order it from your local independent bookstore, but I've got another solution. Online, there's a archive called Gutenberg.org where they have tons and tons and tons of books. And you can download the books in different different formats, like an ebook or straight up web page. And so check this out. There we go. Oh, I got some reflection trouble. Oh dear. Well, I wasn't expecting that. So here's our book, and we can just scroll through. I don't know if I have hands for this. Okay, hold on a second. Here we go. We can scroll through. You can see they've got the actual beautiful illustrations. You'll even see that same illustration that we were just looking at. They've got it here. Yeah, the same one we were just looking at. Of course, this will be backwards on your screen, but it's normal in real life. So this is a great way to read books. You can read all 14 of the Wizard of Oz books here. And it's legal, unlike some places that you might try to download a book from. This is perfectly legal because the Wizard of Oz books were written so long ago. And if you would rather hear the audiobook, skip on over from Gutenberg.org to LibriVox.org. LibriVox.org has it too, and it's read by a really great reader named Phil. And let me see if I can get Phil to read a little bit of it here for us. Phil, are you reading? Phil, are you reading? Here comes Phil.
Chapter 1 of The Marvelous Land of Oz. This is a LibriVox recording.
Doesn't Phil have a good voice? Phil's a great reader. I've listened to several of his other books. He's really good. He's going to read you the whole book if you want to hear it.
Recording by Phil Chevaver. The Marvelous Land of Oz by L. Frank Baum. Chapter 1. Tip manufactures a pumpkin head.
Tip manufactures a pumpkin head. Great story. Once you've read that book, you'll never forget about the pumpkin head and Tip. And it's a great story. And I can't even tell you too much because there's some big stuff down the road for Tip and the pumpkin head. I hope you guys will enjoy that book as much as I did. When I was a kid, I was crazy for reading all 14 of those books. All right, that was our Read It segment for the day. Let's put that away. Oh, by the way, if you wanted to try one of those, let's see what we got here. Oh, here's LibriVox.org. This is where you can download that. And what happened, I knew I had the Gutenberg.org here a minute ago. Well, here it is, Project Gutenberg. It should be, don't need the hashtag there, Project Gutenberg. Just type that into Google. It'll actually bring up a search box, so you can go ahead and search for the book you want on Project Gutenberg. They've got a lot of great stuff there. All right, so that was our Read It segment. Our next segment is Make It. All right, remember these ducks I made a little bit ago? I'm going to show you how to make a comic book about the ducks or anything else you want. In fact, it's going to be an origami, a comic book. My favorite thing to make out of origami, of course, is Origami Yoda. But second is a 4-page booklet, and third is an 8-page booklet. Let me show you how to make those right now. Okay, first I'm going to need to grab myself some paper and some scissors, and you may want to do the same thing. Hold on one second. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your piece of paper. Now, a lot of people already know this. Some people make greeting cards this way, but a lot of people don't think about making a comic book this way. But I've been making comic books this way for about 30 years. What you do is you fold this in half like this. Okay, fold that nice across there like that. Fold it a second time over like this, just like you're closing a book, because it is a book. Once you fold down right here, you've got a booklet. This will be page 1. Page 2, page 3, and page 4. Or as I often tell kids, this can be our cover, this can be the beginning, this can be the middle, and this can be the end. There's enough here to make a whole story. Anybody that ever read one of my old comic books from the Sawfish Larry days knows that you can fit a whole story onto these 4 pages. All right. All right, I'm going to keep going now. We've done our word section. Where did my paper go? We've done the Make It section. So now it's time for our final section, the Ask It section. Is there anybody out there that has a question they would like to ask me? This would be a great time. Type it down there in the comments, and I will try to give you an answer. Maybe I'll even be able to draw an answer if it's an answer that seems drawable. In the meantime, I'll just ask you guys to spread the word about this if you can. Let kids know that the stuff is up on YouTube if they missed the live broadcast. All this kind of, all this duck drama, all this book talk, all these art lessons, it's all going to be available on YouTube. And of course, I've got a million other videos over there on YouTube too. So I really appreciate it if you'd spread the word about Book It Live. That would be great. And if not, I will see you back here next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Maybe next time, think of a couple questions ahead of time. I'm not getting very many questions rolling in today, but that's okay. Maybe I've talked for so long that everybody feels like they know everything by now. I don't know about that. Guys, I've just had so much fun working with the Book It program. It's really an amazing program. And if you're a teacher or a librarian, you might want to think about signing up for next year's Book It program. You can go ahead and enroll in it. Visit the Pizza Hut Book It program website to find out all about that. You enroll in it now so that your kids can read books and eat pizza next fall. So we actually did get a question. I'm so happy. Oh no, but it doesn't have a happy answer. The question is from Lucas. It says, will you be making an Origami Yoda movie? Unfortunately, I will not be making an Origami Yoda video. I mean, an Origami Yoda movie. I can write a book, but I can't make a movie. I have to wait for Hollywood to call to make a movie. And I haven't heard the phone ring yet. It's always possible it'll ring in a minute. But so far, Hollywood has not called to tell me they're making an Origami Yoda video. I hope they do someday. That would be great. But right now, that's not happening. You know, I got another question. It says, is Tommy based on me, or is Kellen based on me, or both of them? Well, both of them to a point. Tommy is a little bit like me. Kellen's a lot like me because he draws the same way I do. But as some people may know, I'm actually kind of like Harvey. I'm a little bit like Harvey, and I'm also a lot like Dwight. I'd rather be a Dwight than a Harvey. Unfortunately, sometimes when I look back on middle school, I realize I acted kind of like a Harvey at times. So that's sort of the lesson of the Origami Yoda books. Don't be a Harvey. You know, I heard from Lefty Laura. Hi, Lefty Laura. So nice to hear from you. She asked, which Origami Yoda cover star was the hardest to fold? Now, she probably knows the answer to that. I tried to fold the Fortune Wookiee, and I did so badly that my editor rejected it. Said it was not good enough to put on the cover. Let's see. Here they all are. Here we go. This is... So, you know, I made this Origami Yoda, and then I made this Darth Vader, and then I tried to make a Fortune Wookiee. Unfortunately, the one I made was not very good. Luckily, Cece, who you guys met earlier, I told you she was good at origami, right? She made this Fortune Wookiee, and I think she did a great job of it. I've always been very fond of it. So, yeah, that one for me was the hardest because I blew it. Guys, I've had such a great time talking to you. This has been terrific. I will hopefully see you back here again next Wednesday at 1 o'clock Eastern. Or if I don't see you then, if you miss it, maybe I will see you on YouTube. Or maybe you'll see me on YouTube. I can't see through the other way. Thanks a lot, guys. I've had a great time talking to you. Thanks for tuning in to Book It Live. Whatever you do, if you make something cool, make sure to post it on Instagram with the hashtag BookItLive. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'll see you back here next week. Thank you so much for tuning in and waving and asking questions. It means a lot to me. Everybody stay safe, stay home, read a good book, and fold some origami, and I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.